Here with UT Dallas men's soccer coach Jack Peel. Coach, the Comets had another solid season this year, 12-win season, advancing back to the ASC title game. First of all, your thoughts on the season as a whole?
It was a good season. We had a lot of fun. The players really worked hard and committed to it, and I think they had a good time as well as being successful. The season started out a little rough when going to Colorado. We had a chance. We were up 2-0 at the half and lost to them 3-2 in overtime. And I think that game, if you go look back at it now, if we'd have won that game, we might have gotten a bid into the NCAA tournament. But we kept a positive attitude, and they kept working hard and had a great run at the beginning of the conference, and then pulled off a big win against UT Tyler and rolled on with it. So it was a good season. It was a great opportunity for the kids.
Nice run late in the season. Had a chance to host the ASC Tournament. Just fell a goal short in the last game of the year. Had to go to Clinton, Mississippi. Got the win in the semis and tied Mississippi College to force penalty kicks. Talk about that game and talk about what these Comets have taken out of that game, especially those ones that are going to come back next year.
Well, we didn't play particularly well in the first game at the conference tournament. Fortunately for us, we had gotten a bye. But when we got into the championship, I just told them at the time, win or lose, however we come out of this, just want them to perform to the best of their ability, go out and compete, and be mature in the situation. And they poured it all out. They didn't leave anything behind. And we had opportunities to win it in the regular part of the game. Very fortunate to come back and with 2 minutes left to tie the game. Michael Matthews, the freshman, headed the ball in and tied it up. But in the overtime, we had a couple of chances. So I was proud of them, and they never quit. They worked hard at it and had opportunities. Just unfortunate that we didn't pull it off in the penalty kicks.
Junior Michael Darrow put together one of the best seasons in program history, 19 goals, 41 points. Talk about his play this year and what he meant to the front line of your offense.
Well, for us here at UTD, the years we've been particularly successful, we had those players in the leading scorer in the conference, Ali Marchetti years back, and then Kevin White for 2 years in a row. And then the times we struggled was when we weren't getting the goals, so for Michael to step up and get the opportunities. And the funny thing is, he missed the first 2 games of the season he was in the hospital with appendectomy, and he came back a week later after surgery and scored 4 goals. So that kind of set the tone for him for the rest of the season. When you have that kind of player, it gives you a lot of confidence in your team and opens up a lot of things for a lot of other players.
Darrow named the ASC Offensive Player of the Year. Talk about how much that award means to this team to have that kind of award winner on your team.
Again, very important because goals in soccer are very important. And I told all the guys going into it, once he set the school record, I said, I'm not a person of records. I'm not a person that cares about those things. I only look at the wins and losses. And then, and for the individual, it's always been important to me that if one guy is doing something that spectacular, that means everyone is doing something to help. But but you need that person to step up and come through for you. And Michael Darrow definitely did that for us this year.
Senior Brian Beanhoff is a 4-year all-conference player for you, named Defensive Player of the Year this year, joining Darrow and 2 other players, Eric Pekala and Stephen Nicknish's first-team all-conference. Talk about Brian Beanhoff's play. The defense specifically clamped down another year for you guys.
Brian, again, another one of those players that came into the season with high expectations, but had to have knee surgery and missed most of the preseason. So we weren't sure about him and how effective he was going to be. But he's dealt with some issues all along for 4 years of injuries and things like that, and he came back strong. And then this year we switched to 3 in the back, which put even more pressure on him and Stephen Nicknish. But he was the only captain we had of the team, a spiritual leader, emotional leader of the team, as well as athletically and physically. So I think it was very important. He was one of the reasons that we could play with 3 in the back rather than 4.
And newcomer Jordan Rubel named co-defensive player of the year in the league. One of many underclassmen that saw a lot of playing time for this team. Just 2 seniors heading off. What can you say about the team you hope to have back next year?
Well, obviously, with only losing 2 seniors, even though they're important and the young players that we have, and with the recruiting process coming up and what we're doing, we hope to get to the final game again and get another chance to host again and get to the final game and maybe win it.
Comets finished the year at 12-5-2, 10-2 in ASC play.